Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crypto Scene Investigation, where we look at various cryptocurrency projects and we ask ourselves, should we be investing in it? Today we're going to be looking at something called Gamerse. Now, if you guys like what I do on this channel, please consider liking and subscribing, and if you do wish to comment, please have a read of that little grey box with the blue writing down the bottom, and we can get started. Alright, so let's jump straight into it. So, they have migrated over from V1 to V2 because their first V1 actually got hacked. They do give a little bit of details on their Twitter. So they said on Wednesday the 16th of March, an attacker exploited the LFG vesting contract to steal a large amount of tokens. To prevent any further damage, by the attacker, Gamerse is relaunching its token to wipe the attacker from the ledger of token holders. We kindly ask you to stop buy/sell of LFG tokens for now, and we urge you to unstake LP and SAS tokens. We will share further announcements of our next steps. We thank our community and partners for their unwavering support. Now, it doesn't tell us how sort of people are going to get the money back. I hope that they do have some sort of plan. But anyway, so according to this, so we don't currently know their market cap because this token contract is very fresh. It is, not that one, 7 days old. We are going to be looking at a few different things today, guys, by the way. So we're going to be looking at their team up here. Going to be looking at some token metrics / analytics. A few extra other things behind them as well. Maybe some possible ideas for what they may be doing, intending, all that sort of jazz. So first of all, what in the world is Gamerse? So they have something called the LFG token. Now, for those who've been around in the crypto community quite a while, LFG stands for something different than what these guys are using it for. So LFG from these guys is looking for groups, or from what I heard from the interview, it could also mean looking for gamers. So essentially their idea is that the Gamerse platform is for the entire NFT gaming industry, and will be around for gamers of all shades and hues, no matter which title holds the #1 spot. As a social platform, Gamerse unites gamers in a single, fun community, constantly adapting to the newest and most viral trends. So these guys are intending to do so they're wanting to create essentially a NFT gaming social ecosystem. That's pretty much the basis of it. So you can join groups and trade and connect with gamers and, talk about games and stuff like that. So, do things, meet friends, all that jazz. So these guys are doing that. I have personal reservations about that idea. And I don't know, I mean, this is my channel, but I guess I could say that. So my personal thinking in regards to having a social platform for talking about game things, I mean, we do already have something like Discord, which is, kind of like a gaming thing. I mean, Steam's got its own little chat thing. I'm sure that like other game launchers have their own kind of chat things as well. So to me, I don't really feel like there is much of a place for this. But on the other side of the coin, okay, here is on the other side of the coin. On the other side of the coin, it's pretty hard to find, or it's kind of harder to find groups specifically pertaining to NFT gaming systems. So it is harder to find. They do exist, but let's say you like a game, right? And then you're like, man, I wish that I could find other games like this because this is such a cool crypto game. And you don't know where to look first. So then something like Gamerse can possibly help you try to find other people who may also be interested in that game as well. So that's sort of one possible benefit. But in terms of the actual token offering, it's a bit hard to identify what their extra benefit would be. So let's have a look at some of the exchanges which it's currently on. So we can see that it is on PancakeSwap and MEXC. So MEXC, I believe, is one of the top 50 exchanges. I could be wrong with that. We will have a brief look just to find out. I take that back. It is in the top 20. Good work. So MEXC is usually one of the sort of more common exchanges for like kind of maybe undervalued tokens. But yes, doesn't mean that they're immune to everything. So this is their Twitter post explaining their move from V1 to V2. And when I was looking through some of the comments on here, some of them actually did stand out to me. So people are like, yo, like, how do we change our tokens from this to that? How do we move them over? My tokens have not been migrated. You owe us. So yeah. So it's kind of hard to say what's sort of happening with this, because I haven't seen anything regarding their actual Twitter posts saying that they're actually going to be helping out their audience by helping them pay back. But keep in mind, then that would be money out of their own pockets as well. And I mean, if let's say the hack was not an inside job, hypothetically, then they should probably be able to remake up the cash, maybe. Because I mean, these guys have got a lot of partners. These guys have got a lot of partners. In fact, the guy, so Khaled, who's actually the founder and CEO, I mean, he's been a private investor cryptocurrency, so co-founder and CEO, co-founder and CEO, co-founder and CEO. So this guy, you know, he's definitely an entrepreneur. So one cool thing about them is that they do, so from what we can see, this looks to be open source, which I think is tremendous. So it is an open source contract, which means that other people can potentially also work on it, or be able to, you know, improve it, make it better, and all that sort of jazz, which I think is wonderful. And so this is their Medium as well. So they do actually keep us up to date, which is really, really cool. I do like that, and they have continuously posted on that, so kudos to them. This also talks about the hack update, and they say, so here are our plans moving forward, and nothing in their plans moving forward do they say, we will compensate users for blank. I don't even think MEXC is going to be compensating them for anything, because remember, when we actually had a brief look on their, sorry guys, when we actually had a brief look on their Twitter post, there was actually something about my tokens are still on the exchange or something. Yeah, so anyway, maybe I'm wrong. I cannot see the thing which I'm referring to, so let's move on. Yeah, but just know that their sort of way of kind of being able to help people out with this extra biz is that they'll be airdropping Fire NFTs, the first 100 stakers, and to all stakers who had 10,000 or more from our opening pool day. Personally, I don't think that this is a very sweet idea, to be honest. I think that it would be better if maybe they were to just actually give the tokens back to the people from their actual new contract. But you know, your boy ain't a company, man. So yeah, this is their Reddit page. This is what it says when I go on there. Sorry, there aren't any communities on Reddit with that name. This community may have been banned, or the community name is incorrect. Let's refresh it, because apparently they were trying to work on it to try to fix that up. Nope, no fixing. Cool. Next section. So this is their new V2. And so when I first saw this, I was like, hey, this is cool, you know, we see contracts. Nice, nice, nice. Looking very good, looking very delicious. Well done, guys. But according to my little token scanner / token metrics thing, it tells us a different story, which I'm a little bit surprised about, because I didn't think that token scanners added these contracts. So maybe there's something which might have changed super recently, and the information on the token scanners might be like slightly old or something. I mean, this one was updated an hour ago. This one, as far as I know, is like as soon as you write it in kind of thing. BSC check. They can sometimes be like days old. Yeah, so it's hard to say what's happened with that, but I'd say that when we have a look at this little bit of jazz, like, it looks good according to this, but it's not as good as it could be. So what does BSC check say? So it says total supply, holders, burn tokens, and then here we go, 70% of the token owner. Okay, 70% of the token owner. Once again, I don't think that they may be including the fact that it is a contract, so I'm a little bit iffy. I don't know if it's a yay or a nay in terms of this. So it says dev tokens 6.59%, and they talk about the other rest of the token supply, and then they've only got 4% which is burned or locked, which is quite interesting because according to their actual extra bits of information regarding their tokenomics, they do actually talk about a bunch of release schedules and lockup times. So yeah, it is very strange, man. Yeah. Also, so I'm just going to show you guys this briefly. So this is their V1 token contract. Notice how it says that there is no lockers according to this as well. So that's interesting. Although it doesn't say that it has so it hasn't found anything which is really kind of suspicious, right? Like when I have a look at these things, I don't see anything which sort of screams to me, oh, these guys could have rug pulled this on purpose. So nothing stands out to me according to Moonarch from this sort of thing. So I don't, if they did hypothetically do, an inside job hack, I don't know how they would have done it. So I can't find the information which would support the idea that they actually did do an inside job hack. So here's something interesting. So I've also been chatting on the Gamerse. It keeps sounding like I'm saying Gamerse, like Mercedes. Anyway, so I've been chatting to the guys on Gamerse as well, and one thing which is interesting because I asked about people receiving their tokens, right? And then so here is what one of the moderators said to me. He said, yes, the tokens were automatically airdropped to the new contract. So all you need to do is add up the new contract, and all your tokens will reflect. So I'm not exactly sure how we'd sort of do that. Probably recommend joining their Discord or Telegram. Telegram, the one which your boy is still banned from. Yeah, so this could have some sort of reflection inside it, meaning that if the other one, so it'll be like it's kind of hard to describe it, reflections. It's sort of like if something happens on this contract, if there is a wallet added to here, then it will look at the old contract and then add tokens on this contract according to what was on the old contract from the wallet which you signed it into it with. So it's like a reflections thing. So that's what I think is possibly happening. Once again, not entirely sure, but that's sort of what I think is happening with that regard. It's also not a honeypot from what we can see, because they do actually have everything looking pretty standard there. So according to Token Sniff, we can see that the ownership has not been renounced, and also it does say that this whole 70% again, which once again, because yeah, usually Token Sniffer, BSC Check, and Moonarch are smarter than this, right? So keep in mind that it's only saying 70%. So if it's only saying 70%, what about this extra 5%? So I'm pretty sure that usually in most cases, they are able to identify what is a contract and what is not a contract. Yes, at least that is from my point of view. From other ones which I've sort of looked at before as well. They also have no other similar token contracts, so this is completely original, and they do have a decent amount of liquidity. Although when we actually go into PooCoin, this is what it says. It says an unlocked wallet is holding 94.8% of the LFG/BUSD liquidity supply or liquidity pool. So 94% of like 100,000, that's a lot, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm kind of thinking that might have something to do with this main big boy here, but it may not. It may have to do with something different as well. But remember, we can also possibly give them the extra benefit of the doubt, because they actually have this token age is only really 7 days old. Yeah, so and we can see where the sort of price has been going from here. So dip, high, dip, high, and then now we're near all-time high numbers according to this. So we're close. We're very close. And if we have a look at the all-time, we can see that it has gone up to 0.3, and then now it's chilling at 0.008. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're sitting at right now. Yeah, so the liquidity pool is cool, but those aren't locked, which means that somebody can essentially drain the liquidity pool, and then, you know, like, could be a bad time for you guys, because, you know, they own like 94% of that. Yeah, so moving on. When I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh. So own is 70%. So I still find that so weird. All token scanners said that this is an owner. This is an owner wallet, and from what I can tell, it is an unlocked owner wallet, because I can't see anything which says that it is locked. Yes, so it does have a few extra things as well, but remember, none of these things from what we can see tell us that this is going to be a rug pull. None of these things tell us, sorry, a honeypot, I should say. Rug pull and honeypot are two different things. So a honeypot is what I should say. So honeypots could mean, so according to what Token Sniffer says, they say they could disable selling, change the fees, like keep on minting tokens, or they could increase the amount of tokens which are they can create and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's very fresh. It's very fresh, but that's not a good look. That 70% is not a good look. So let's have a look at some Twitter stats. So this sort of been having a few pluses and minuses over, you know, the days. And remember, the hack happened sort of around this time. So it happened like on the 20th-ish, or even close to the 16th, because that one status which we looked at says on Wednesday the 16th. So yeah, so in terms of followers, I mean, it's, you know, a little bit up and down, but over the last 30 days they have had 1,600 followers, and the user was created in March 16th of 2021. So yeah, so when I have, so some things about the Twitter page, I have been trying to confirm the partners which are on their website, which we will have a look at shortly. But I haven't seen any sort of crazy bot comments or anything. I haven't found, or any obvious bot comments, I should probably say. So usually, you know, with bot comments, they'll either have like similar profile pictures, or, you know, they'll be using the similar phrases over and over and repeating the things, and yeah, but I honestly haven't found anything from their Twitter which sort of resembles that jazz. Now, they do have quite a large following, so you do see some of the comments because of how large the following is, but that's pretty standard for anybody who's, you know, got like this many people following them. Cool. So in terms of the last 12 months, these are the Google Trends. Had a huge thing back in October, which would have been likely when the actual release would have happened. We'll have a look over the last 90 days, see if we can find anything interesting. February 11th. I wonder what happened around there. Not entirely sure, but recently has been sort of searched a little bit, but this would likely be because, you know, the hack happened on the 16th, and then, you know, there's probably an announcement like in between these dates. So yes, so that's standard. This is the actual website from these guys. So it's quite interesting how they sort of have the exact same three things here. Whoa, you click onto the Reddit link and it doesn't work. Interesting. I did not know that. That is fascinating. So they say that we are gamers, and they talk about a few other things. We will look at these tokenomics soon. Let's flippin' game. So maybe LFG stands for a bunch of things. Interesting. We'll look at their team shortly, but we'll actually look at their roadmap, because they don't actually have a page for the roadmap as far as I can recall. So one thing which is interesting in terms of these guys' project, I have not seen anything. Also, I haven't seen a Polygon and Solana token bridge yet, and that was supposed to be a part of Q1 2022. So they're possibly still working on that jazz. But also, it looks like they haven't had an audit yet neither. They would have had a DEX listing, but they say that that's sort of up to this point. Interesting. Yeah. So one thing which, when I look at this, how does their social system work? I tried to find them on YouTube. I can't find any YouTube channels with these guys. I haven't seen any videos onto how this kind of whole system works. I mean, I haven't been able to, like see anything here which says sign up or sign in or join. I mean, all I can see is sort of staking. So I mean, it says that they have a launch app here. Come on, man, give me the app. Give me the app. I want the app. Alright, so this is going to be the boring part of the video where we wait for your boy's internet to be able to connect. So feature drops, marketplace, collectors, explore. This must be like a... Okay, let's do something else while we'll wait for that to load. Oh, coming soon! Oh, for the web app prototype. Now, I'm the Sussy Barker. Anyway, yeah. So I haven't seen how they're actually going to be putting this into play. This looks to be a this is like an Adobe thing. I don't know how they can talk to people. Where's the kind of like where's like the talking thing? How can you do things? Get social. Yes, we want to see where that takes us. But yeah, I haven't seen evidence of what they are intending to do or to make it look like, and that's just a bit concerning when we don't actually see products, right? So it says iOS and Android coming soon, which that will be coming in quarter 2 of 2022, so keep an eye out for that, ladies and folks. Yeah, so we've got a few other links. Okay, yeah, so we can exit out of that. This is their partnerships. Pretty impressive. So I have confirmed a fair few of these partnerships from their Twitter. I did like a sort of special thing to make sure that like it wasn't just Gamerse who was being like atting the accounts, but I was making sure that the accounts which they were atting were also commenting about Gamerse themselves. And pretty much all of them were. The ones which I had found, including Soul Chicks, which is possibly going to be here somewhere. But one which I didn't find was BitBoy Crypto. That was one which I did not find. Which, yeah, whether or not you see that as a positive thing, but you might recognize some of these. I mean, Cryptopolis, Bitspawn, BitBoy Crypto, Attack Wagon. I think that's the Crypto Prophecies, Oxbull. I have heard of them. Tribe One, Unix, Zombify. Fabwell, I actually have done a video on Fabwell, so I can link that up in the top right hand corner if you want to know anything about Fabwell. And Soul Chicks, which I thought was super fascinating, yeah. And so it looks like they've also had a bunch of backers as well. I haven't gone and confirmed the backers. I've only really gone and confirmed some of the actual partnerships. But to be honest, I think because of how good the actual partners seem to be, I'm expecting that like the backers are probably going to be okay as well. I mean, they've got Moonwell, Dutch crypto investors, Legion Ventures, X Networks. I mean, they definitely have got like ones which are familiar to us. So that's positive. Another thing on the website, these links. So this just links to their Medium. It doesn't actually tell us which article it links to. These others, though, they actually do link to the. Is that the same article? No, that's a different one, right? Bringing NFT gamers. Okay, cool. So that's two different things. But this has not been updated since 27th of November 2021. And all of them say that they came out on the exact same day, which was 27th of November. This is 17th of November, 17th of December, and 27th of November. So I think maybe these guys definitely need to look at least trying to work on their website to make it a little bit more better / cleaner. They talk in regards to the About Us. None of these things work, even though you can see that my mouse is, like the clicking selection thing. I mean, they could have at least added Binance Smart Chain, because all they had to do was like link this. But hey, I don't think that the web developers, I feel like maybe they're not really working on it as much or very well. This is just an example of the V1 LFG token. So one thing which I was looking for here was, did the tokenomics line up according to this with the previous thing? And I mean, from what I can see, it definitely does feel like that. because I mean, so equal distribution over 12 months, 12 months, 12 months. Although remember, Moonarch didn't actually say that any of them had properly been locked, but I don't think that Moonarch can pick up direct locks on the actual chain, but it can pick up other locks. So we can highlight over. So we can pick up things which are locked on, like DX lock and Unicrypt and Mudra and DBlock, and you know, you can have a look at all those things. Yeah. So so it does talk about seed round, private sale, public sale. They did have quite a lot which was dedicated to the private sale, like 14%. So for these sort of sales of seed round and private sale, that's over. Is that over 30? Yeah, I think that's over. No, it's over 20. It's over 20%. Yeah, close-ish to 30 though, I think. And then public sale. So those are pretty alright. Yeah, cool. So we can see some of those things. So I mean, according to maybe like these top ones here, so 7%, 11%, 10%, 15%. I mean, I feel like that possibly lines up with the 49% there. But they did also have a wallet which was also sitting at about 11%, which is still quite high. Yeah, and I don't exactly know what else happened to the other guys' wallets. You can see the extra private sale deets here, so you know, feel free to pause, read, have a read, great, unread, cool, next section. And this is actually where they're showing where the use of funds will actually go to. So legal, liquidity, operations, marketing, reserve, and technology. I'm assuming that paying people comes under operations. Yeah, and 10% in liquidity. So if they have anything which is locked in liquidity, how come we can't see any locks? And well, I mean, BSC check does say that 4% is locked, but liquidity is supposed to be 10%, which seems to be locked. So I don't know, dude. It's all confusing. So this is their team. Now with this team I have only tried to find the LinkedIns for the top 8 because I didn't want to go through everybody because it's just irritating. Also, so this is Khaled. So this is the only video which I could find which shows anything from the actual makers of Gamerse. This was the only thing which I could find. It's pretty interesting to listen to. And this interview was done on the 27th of March, I think. That's pretty cool. There is actually another video which has almost the exact same title as this. We'll actually check out when the other one was uploaded. 2 days ago and 13 hours ago. So obviously somebody's gone and taken that as well. Oh, and it looks like there was actually another interview as well. So there's been a few actually. I apologize, guys. I did not see these others here. Cool. But at least we know that we can see them now. So we only really have interviews with Khaled, which doesn't make it bad. But it would possibly be nice to maybe see some either other faces, or maybe, I don't know, it would be nice to maybe have a trailer video to actually see like how it would work, how, you know, things are going to work in that area. So yeah, you're very welcome to look up those things as well. Also a pretty cool symbol with the with like the Gamerse, with like, you know, like the kind of like the little hamburger icon. It's pretty cool. So we have already had a look at Khaled, so it seems like he is a very much an entrepreneur sort of guy. LinkedIn page doesn't work from their website. So this is Umberto. So one of my theories, and this is probably a bit of an out there theory, is that maybe like one of these, there's people in here who may have tried to, you know, do something a little bit behind their backs, right? But that's just a theory, right? We don't know that for certain, but this person's not the only person whose LinkedIn is hidden. Pooja, I'm going to imagine that's how I pronounce the actual name. So they've been with a few different people. So they've been an executive assistant, personal assistant, and executive assistant. But keep in mind that what is missing from all of these titles here? What do you see missing? That's right, we don't see Gamerse. Interesting. So that is this person here, who's EA / head of operations, which is probably a little bit why that went a little bit haywire. And this person here, so we have, I'm not going to pronounce the name, sorry champ, But do you see any job thing regarding this? Nope. And it looks like our most recent thing was September 2020. So either they haven't updated their profile or they actually don't work as that thing. But they also could have been maybe a possibly hired contractor, although it says senior smart contract dev, which sort of implies that he does actually work for them. But I mean, it doesn't necessarily, because, you know, everybody's sort of jumping bridges every so often. This person here, I'm not going to pronounce the name again, smart contract dev, and we also don't see anything here, but that doesn't mean that they don't work for them. It doesn't mean that they haven't done anything for them. So it could just mean that, you know, they've just been contracted out. Like, for instance, it says that they're the lead Solidity engineer for Gamify. And they're not going to pronounce the name again. And once again, still don't show these things. So that doesn't mean that these are bad, but they are showing people who these people themselves are not listing these guys on their actual LinkedIns. So it's kind of like, what? So either they've just gone and made up this idea that these guys are actually working for them, or these guys don't actually, like, I don't know, they don't actually work for them, or I don't know, like, it's kind of hard to actually tell if they actually do properly work for them, because the only person which we've seen so far which actually has Gamerse on their thing is Khaled, and we haven't seen anything else from anybody else neither. Another LinkedIn member who's disappeared, it's not much, it is Walid, who is the general manager, and Mush. Oh, Gamers, look at that! But they don't have anything else on their profile, so it's interesting because the other guys that we looked at, they had a bunch of experiences as smart contract developers and, you know, like back-end developers and stuff like that. And then the one who actually lists Gamers doesn't even... Anyway, that is a good amount of laughs. Cool. So, this is the part of the show which you guys absolutely love. I know that all of you really want me to do this. Yeah, because, you know, it's all, like, fabulous and delicious. Yeah, so... Actually, I'm gonna, like, unmute while I do that, because that's funny. Wow. Oh, crud, it didn't work. Anyway, cool. So... Functional and clean website / media. It's pretty good. They got a few links which don't really work, but I give them like a 7 because the website's pretty okay, to be honest. By the way, this is CSI's work in progress, likely inaccurate project checklist. Let me know if you guys actually find this checklist helpful. If you do end up making it to this far in the video, any threatening big boy holders. Well, I mean, I'm gonna say not applicable for now for this one. Because all of these ones are like, yo, the owner holds 70%, but I'm still going over the fact that it's got a contract next to it, so I'm going to say not applicable for this one, because I don't think it's fair to judge them on that just yet. We didn't see any bot comments. I think that they were very well. Also, their community was very cool to be a part of. I should probably add that as maybe like a column, like active community question mark. Is the token / coin distribution fair? We don't know yet. I'm going to say not applicable for that one as well, because I feel like we don't currently know. Solid roadmap. The roadmap was pretty good, but it did feel a little bit lacking, and yeah, there was just some things which it just didn't tell us. I'm going to give them a 7 because they still gave us ideas and highlighted some things which had been completed, so they get about a 7 for their roadmap. Trusted centralized exchanges and dexes. I don't know, dude. They're on PancakeSwap and MEXC. I'm giving them like a 5. Because MEXC is technically still one of the top 20 exchanges, so they get about a 5 for that. Is the team docs with LinkedIn? Yes, but it was Sussy, because none of the other guys listed them, and we only had one dude, and yeah, so I'm going to give them a 5, because they still did it to some extent, but it wasn't like... there was just missing parts and areas. Interviews and AMAs. So from what we did see, there was a bunch of interviews and AMAs. Not quite team, but it looks like there's been a bunch of them which have been involved from Khaled himself. So that's pretty cool. Any relevant team experience? I don't want to do this, but I feel like I need to tick not applicable. The reason why I'm ticking not applicable for this jazz is because the team which we saw may not actually be the team. So yeah, in terms of their team experience, we don't quite know. I mean, there is a bit of extra experience from Khalid himself, but yeah, team experience is a bit iffy. And any notable partnerships, I want to give them a 9. I'm going to give them a 9 for the notable partnerships because there aren't any crazy big names and crazy trustworthy names. But there's big enough names for us to know that it seems to be more trustworthy than a project which has no partnerships. So these guys get a 4-star, man. 52 out of 70. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that is my video. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider the old liking and subscription. And if you do want to comment, have a read of that grey box once more before commenting. Yoink. Remember, none of this legal advice. This is my Patreon. Please consider becoming an advocate if you want to make fan request videos. I don't know. I've had a bunch of comments on my videos recently being like, hey, can you make a video of this? What I'm going to say, watch this whole video to get an answer to your question. So yeah. So if you do want to have a guaranteed fan request, please consider becoming an advocate. Please do consider that. If, let's say, you, I don't know, like, are a part of an actual crypto project and you want any sort of promotion, feel free to email me or whatever. Or like message me on one of my socials. So yeah, guys, this has been your boy from CSI. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Be safe and love nature. I don't know. Cool. Bye.